Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna and today we'll be working on my next project. This one is for my cousin. Her and her boyfriend lost both a dog and a cat last year. So I wanted to do a special album for them to put their pictures of their loved pets in. So I will be using the G45 Raining Cats and Dogs, and I'm going to be using the 8x8. I do not have any stickers, any chipboard, or anything that I can use with this at this time. I have another pack, a full pack that I don't want to open yet, so I'll be just using the 8x8 pack itself. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the chipboard here. And we'll get that covered and done. Let me move my trimmer here a second. And this album's going to be the same on both sides. It's going to be cats on one side, dogs on the other. So I'm going to divide the pack exactly in half. So there's 24 sheets altogether. I'm going to save 2 for my front and back cover, and then so I will have the rest for the inside decorations. This is going to be a 2-part tutorial. First one, the build. The second one, the decoration. Kind of similar to my last album, but this is going to be, of course, different. So both sides are going to be exactly the same. And we're just going to switch it up with the paper. So I have 2 pieces of chipboard measuring 2 inches high by 9 inches wide. I have my spine, which is 7/8 inches wide by 9 inches high. And this is just regular medium weight chipboard. And if you do not have chipboard, if you can have some larger cereal boxes or things like that, you can use those and just glue a couple together and that will work just fine. So I have all 8.5 by 11 sheets. I didn't use any 12 by 12 sheets of cardstock. This is just Hobby Lobby's regular black cardstock. I have 3 sheets of the 11 by 8.5 standard US size here. I'm going to put a little bit of art glitter glue here and we'll get this going. So we will cut the last one down a bit just to make it perfect fit. And I've got this 1/2 inch, well, it's just under a 1/2 inch wide double-sided tape with a little glue. Back there, that looks good. And we're going to do our third piece here. There we go. Now I have pre-cut and scored 1/2 of the book. I have not glued it together. So we will glue that one together and then we'll cut the other one together. And then we'll put that all in the book. There we go. Just like that. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to bring my ruler in here. I'm going to line that up 1 inch from my edge. Got it's the same ruler I use all the time. It's from Westcott. And it's 18 inches long. And I'm going to line my 1 inch mark all along the bottom there. And then when I start with my chipboard, I'm going to start 1 inch in here. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of tape on these. I don't use a lot of tape, but we can put some tape on to help hold while the glue dries. like so. Again. Okay, there we go. Start with one of the 9" by 9" ones. I'm going to pop my cap right off of there so I get a good amount of glue flowing. Keeping the tip kind of pressed down a little bit so it doesn't over glue. But since I'm just using a small amount of tape, I want to use a fair amount of glue on there to help hold that. Put my cap back on. Here we go. All right. Wiggle my ruler out of the way there a little bit. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of press up against that bottom edge there. Just like so. There we go. Okay. Flip this over a little bit here and just kind of push that glue around a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. Line my ruler back up here. Now I'm going to put I'm going to leave probably about 3/16 of an inch in between my chipboards there. I don't think I need quite a 1/4 of an inch, so we're just going to do 3/16 because I just find that to me 1/4 of an inch is not enough for me, but if it's enough for you, that's fine. There we go. And I think I only used 18 sheets of 8.5 by 11 for this whole project here. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. Oops, slid a little bit there. Go. I lost my one nail. My nails aren't long anyway. I just don't have long nails. I use them too much as tools. So I don't grow long nails. Wish I did, but I don't. I broke the one I usually use for pulling the tape off. I broke the other day. I've been taking some vitamins trying to improve my nail growth, but I've been on them for a couple months and doesn't seem to be changing anything. I guess I'm just too rough on everything. Just too rough. All right, we're going to go another 3/16 of an inch there. Just like that. There we go. As you can see, we've got a little area left. And so we're going to go in, tip this over here and rub this a little bit. Get that glue all kind of pushed out. Perfect. I'm going to grab my scrap Cricut mat. It's no good for, whoops. Ooh, boy, I'm sorry. Jolted you there. Let me move you back here a little bit. Sorry about that. I don't throw my Cricut mats away once they're no good anymore. I use them for cutting mats until they don't work for that anymore, and then I get rid of them. There we go. Because eventually they do start to get cut up too much, but for right now they're perfect. All right, I'm just gonna kind of slowly start bending these a little bit, breaking those fibers, getting the paper used to the idea of being bent. Like that. There we go. Getting some good marks on my corners there. I'm going to come in with some scissors. And I'm going to, not those ones. Those are all sticky. Here we go. So I'm going to come in and I can see my, let's see if I got, see where I folded. I'm just going to do just a real slight angle, not much of one. And I'm going to stay about 1/16 of an inch away from that chipboard. I can always cut off more, but it's hard to add. So, turn this here. Just a real slight miter there. Not much of one. Just enough so it doesn't down. Perfect. There we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of tape to the outside edge here. Like that. I'm going to have to get another roll of tape here in a second. Yep. Ooh, boy, that was just like perfect down there. That tape is done. That worked out perfect, didn't it? Let me get in here and get another roll here. All different sizes and kinds of tape. One of these days I'll do a tour of my little craft room. Someday. Nice and quiet. Kids just left. And so I had the granddaughter, of course, because she's little, and the boys were have been on their mid-winter break, they call it, and they were here for the last 2 days, so they'll be back to school tomorrow, so I'll just have her. Which is fine. All right. So I'm going to run right along that chipboard. I'm going to run a bead of glue right up against that chipboard. Get the soften a little bit. And I stay probably about 1/4 of an inch from my end there so that it doesn't, it's going to squeeze out somewhere. So try to avoid it doing that too much. There we go. That starts. And then along here, I'm just going to run a squiggle of additional glue here just to help hold it. There we go. Let's start in the middle. I'm going to get this started there like that. And we're just going to press it down. We gave it some time to think there. We're going to do the same thing here. Just give it a little squiggle. Just like that. And I'm just pressing my little tool up against there. So in the middle. Press. Okay, I'm going to take the tool and I'm going to just bring this little corner bit in here just to make sure. There we go. Perfect. Now with this book, we're not going to have any hinges in the middle. We're not going to have any of those. I'm going to glue directly to my book on each side. Okay, I'm going to get this broken here. I'm using my rounded edge here. You can use a pencil or anything else that you got that's wrong. I mean, wrong, round. The ink pen. Anything that's rounded that might start helping you break those fibers in gently, okay? Not everybody has this little tool I have, and I understand that. Let me use my other edge and get that. Go. Got a nice book base there. All right. Perfect. I'm going to set this aside. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to set it aside. We're going to start doing our build. Okay. So I didn't build it. I just started working with it and cutting it. Get this other stuff out of my way that I don't need. There we go. Okay. So we're going to start at the very bottom here with our base. And our base, and we're going to be cutting a set while we go through it, and then we'll just put them together, okay? Let me get this stuff over here. And I'm going to get my trimmer up here. We're going to be doing this together. All right. I'm going to grab a stack of paper here. I have it all ready. And I believe I've got everything written down. So hopefully it'll go nice and smooth. Okay. Our first piece is going to be our base. So you are going to need 2 of them. And they are just a full sheet of 8.5 by 11. On your 11-inch side here, you're going to score at 1 inch and 1 1/4, 9 3/4, and 10. Okay. So this is a full sheet, 8.5 by 11. You're going to score at 1 inch, 1 1/4, 9 3/4, and 10. This is our base. So you'll have a double 1/4 inch gusset. Okay. So that's our base. Our next piece is cut 8 3/8 wide by 9 inches high. Okay. We got another piece, and we'll build these at the same time here. All right. Let me cut 8 3/8 by 9. So I'm just going to cut a 9-inch piece. By 8 3/8 inch. And on our 9-inch edge, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay. So you need 2 of those. One for your cat side, one for your dog side. Let me go ahead and attach those. So here's our base. We're going to attach. Let me grab a white sheet of paper here so you can see exactly what I'm doing. It's hard to see with that black on black and then on the dark. So I'm going to put glue, or you can use tape, on your edge here. And this is going to create a flip up. So I've got my base page that has the double 1/4 inch gusset and my flip. And we're going to center this between your gussets there. And I know it's going to be hard to see. It's hard for me to see right now. But you should have just a tiny bit in between there, so don't cross over your score lines there for your gussets. And I'll lift that up so you can see. I know it's hard to see. There you go. So I'm right between my 2 score lines there. So this will still fold in like, see, just like that. All right, so that's our flip. So let's take our other one here that we made together. Same thing, 8 3/8 wide by 9 inches high. Scored at 1/2 inch. And we're going to attach our 1/2 inch hinge to the top of our base page here. We'll just build them both at the same time. And I'm going to go right in between there. Find it right at the top. Top edge, it is so hard to see. Really hard to see. There we go, I think. There we go. Now this one I have glued 4 tiny magnets here. So we will attach magnets to this one too in a little bit. All right. So for our next one, this piece is 5 inches wide. What I did was, I've got another piece here. So I saved my other piece. So it's 5 inches wide by 8.5 high. And you're going to score on your 5, oops, I'm sorry, not 5.5, 5 inches. 5 inches wide by 8.5 high. Oh, I apologize again. 5 inches high, 5 inches wide, 8 3/8 high. This is going to be another flip. Scored at 1/2 inch. 5 inch by 8 3/8. Score 1/2 inch on your 5 inch edge. This is going to be a flip down at the bottom here. So let's go ahead and cut our spare piece of that. Because when I cut that, I had a piece left. So we got to cut this down to 5 inches by 8 3/8. Perfect. Well, I was having a terrible time with my trimmer, and I thought it was my blades. I kept replacing my blades. It was I needed to flip my trim plate there. Silly, silly, silly. Okay, so I've got on my 5 inch edge. And we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Perfect. All right. All right, so we're going to take this and put our tape or our glue on our 1/2 inch hinge again. There we go. And line it up at the bottom edge and keep that in between our score lines there. Just like that. I would lose my head if it wasn't attached. One of my little, okay. So we'll have a flip down, and it is very hard to see in the black, and I apologize. So a small flip down, and then this will flip and leave us about an 1/8 of an inch at the bottom there. It's a little crooked to me. I'm just going to adjust that a second. There it is. Okay. So now I'm going to get my little magnets here. And you know what? I'm going to attach those at the very end because I want them to dry. So I'll attach those at the very end, and then they'll be dry for when we decorate. That will work better than me trying to do it right this second, because we're still going to be moving this around, and I don't want to have them moving around. Okay, so let's get our other one. Our 1/2 inch here. Yeah, it was just so sad that they lost both of their only 2 pets that they had, and they lost them just a short time apart. So they were both very, very sad. And so I just wanted to do something that they can have their pictures and their memories in. Right down at the bottom, in between our 2 score lines there. Keeping our 1/4 inch gusset open, keeping our 1/4 inches open, going right nicely in between. There we go. Perfect. So we still got our little bit, and we're gonna attach papers to these in a minute. All right, it'll make sense. Okay. So our next ones are two pieces. So you're going to need 4. So 2 at 8.5 high by 9 inches wide. So let's go ahead and get 2 more of those done. So we're going to leave our 8.5. We're going to cut these at 9 inches wide. 9 inches. There we go. Get our scoreboard back here. We are going to score them both on the 9-inch edge. 9-inch edge at 1/2 inch and 5/8. So it's going to give us an 1/8 of an inch gusset. Okay. Again, 9-inch side, 1/2 inch score, and 5/8 inch score. Fold it. Perfect. All right. Okay, so these are going to get attached. One to the right and one to the left. Okay, so let me open this all up. And so I'm going to get where I can see my 1/4 inch, or my 1/8 inch gusset there. I'm just going to put my glue on my 1/2 inch. And that's going to go right up to our score line there, not crossing over. We want to keep that 1/4 inch gusset, remember. So up 2 but not crossing over. And then this will go over top of our last 2 hinges glued down for our flips. Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to line this right up at the bottom there, up to my score line. There we go. Okay, we got to cut that down. I thought so. All right. These got to be cut down to 8 3/8. I thought so. I thought that was weird that I had that 8 1/2. So let's just stick it in here. Cut it down a little bit. Otherwise, it's not going to close very nicely. It needs that little bit of space to close. So 8 3/8, not 8 1/2. Okay. Let's get our other 2. Do the same thing. 8 3/8 by 9. 8 3/8. Let's see, I make mistakes too. Frequently. Frequently. There you go. All right. That will work much better. Much better, much better. All right, let's try that again. So I'm going to put my glue on there on my 1/2 inch. I will have to. There we go. Okay. Let's go back in here. And then I'm going to center it because I want that up a little bit from a little bit down from the top. So this should flip up nice and this should flip down nice. There we go. All right. Perfect. There we go. Okay. Get my gusset back there. Perfect. All right. Same with this one. Get my okay. And then center it between the top and the bottom. Just to the edge of my score line there. Perfect. Check this. Okay. Then I'm going to bring this back just a little bit and re-bring in my 1/8 inch there. Okay. So this is what we have now. We have bottom flip, top flip, flip right, flip left. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and bring this one in and do the same thing. Get our gusset out of the way. Glue, glue, glue. Perfect. All right. I'm going to split the difference again. Between those two. Perfect. And I'm going to shift it to my left a little bit and re-burnish my 1/8 inch score line there. All right. And I may decide to add a couple more flips and stuff in here. I just wanted them to be some pictures, and maybe I'm going to put a spot in there for like them to tell the story of when the pet was born and where they got it and stuff like that. I hope to have room in here for that, the pet story and pictures and stuff like that. So I don't know how many pictures of the pets they have, but I think this will be able to give a good representation amount of room for each one. There we go. So flip up, flip down, and then just go like that. All right, so that's how far we are in both of those. Our next two pieces are 8.5 high by 8 3/8 wide. Okay. So we need 2 more of those. So we're going to keep our 8.5. Keep the 8.5. And cut 8 3/8 wide. Okay. So we need 2 more of those. So 4 of the other. And maybe since this is a smaller one, I will put the dimensions on the description for the video. I don't usually do that because it's very time consuming. But since this one is a smaller one, that for you all. Okay, again, you need 4, 8.5 by 8 3/8. The 8.5 part is going to be our height. So we're going to attach one to this left hand 1-inch hinge and one to the right hand 1-inch hinge that we have. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue right on that. This way I didn't have to cut it down. It gives it a little extra part. So instead of cutting that down 1 inch, I just used the whole sheet. It gives this a little bit more sturdiness here too. So it doesn't hurt anything. Not a bit. Okay. All right, make sure I have my right edge here. Okay. So I believe this is my height. Yes, okay. I want my 8.5 inch on the height. It's right in there, right up to that edge. I'm just going to kind of flatten it down so it's easier. Okay. There we go. Perfect. No, pull right back in. That. And then this one, if I keep this way, then I'll be perfect, right? Okay. I'm kind of, you might have noticed that this is my third one doing a book without any center hinges. So I'm kind of liking this, just no hinges for a bit. All right, so we'll go here. I'm going to line that right at the top and the bottom. Flatten it out a little bit. Make it easy. There we go. Okay. There we go. So that is one half of our book, of our mini album. Okay. So let's go. Oh no, it's not. We've got one more thing to do. I forgot. We do have one more thing to do on these. So let's go ahead and glue these two down. check my 8.5 edge right there. We do have one more thing to do to each one. Getting in way too much of a hurry. This one actually come together. I did this, got this ready while the little one was taking her nap today. So that's how quickly this one fell together for me. And of course that was only figuring out the 1/2, but I figured it out what I wanted and cut it and got it scored and ready to go for you tonight. So worked out good. I was kind of surprised how quickly I brought it together. So you can do this one fairly quickly, I think. And again, right side. And like I said, it's not going to take, I like the idea of having something I can use the 8x8 paper pack with. And I'm hoping to use just about every bit of it. So I'm going to do my best to use every bit of the 8x8 pack, because I have a lot of 8x8 packs. I have a lot of graphic 45 ones. I have a lot of other ones. So I'd like to start using up some of my stack, even though graphic 45 I have a hard time cutting into. Kind of hoard it for some reason. I don't know why. Probably because I get it. Once it's, once they're gone, if you want something, then you have to pay an astronomical price from somebody else that saved it and is selling it. Okay. So our last pieces, you're going to take one 8.5 by 11, and you're going to cut it at 5.5 inches. So right down the center. So you will get both of your slips out of one sheet. We're going to score them on the 5.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. Okay. Perfect. Like that. So you'll need 4 of those, 2 for each side. All right. And what we're going to do is open this back up, and we're going to place one here and one here. So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and get that furnished a little bit better there. Okay. So this will end up being a flip open there on the inside. All right. Okay. Line that right up down in the bottom corner. Right along there. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. There we go. Okay. Slide this over this way so you can see it a little better. That. All right. Okay. So that one's done. So bring in our last one here. Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun one. I think this one is going to be a fun one. Because it has, she's gonna be just thrilled with it. So it's going to be fun to send to her. I will send it to her because I won't see her until June. So she lives out of state. There we go. So that's our left side. Let's go ahead and bring this over. So yeah, I want to make sure that she gets this before June so she can be enjoying it. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. So they're going to flip left, then you have a little flip this way, flip right, another little flip, then you have another flip left, and another flip right, a flip up, and a flip down. So, and like I said, I probably will be able to add a couple more little things in here, but I wanted to get this basically done with you, and then whatever I decide to add, then we will do that together. Okay, so let's bring our book in. Now I need a small piece. Now I have additional graphic 45 papers here, and they are from the Children's Hour collection. Let's see, we got July, February, and May. But if you ever notice with graphic 45, their colors are pretty consistent. So I'm going to use some of these in addition to my other pack. And so I think I'm going to put one of these red stripes here. Oh, I think I got a pack of this. Let me grab an open pack here because I know I've got an open pack of July. So, so there we go. So I just need a piece that is 8.5 high, and probably maybe 4 inches. So let's go ahead and cut that tab off here. I don't need that. And let's see, let's just do a section. 4 inches is plenty. Okay. By 8.5 high to match the size of the base page. There we go. And we'll center that just like that. And then we can glue on, and that will be ready to go. I think I want some, no, I'm just going to leave that for now. I'll just leave that regular. All right. And we'll just glue it. Glue should be enough to hold that, I think. A good amount of glue there. There we go. Their paper's good. It holds up to glue pretty good. All right. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this here a second. Pull in my ruler if I can find it. And I want just about 1/4 of an inch. There we go. Oh, perfect. There we go. See? to find our two. I'm going to get those poking in there a bit. Get those used to that idea. Break those fibers. Oops. My husband is home, I'm guessing. We're going to press that in there like that. Not too aggressive. There we go. That's going to need to dry, so we're going to just let that set up. And while that is setting up, we're going to take our two sections and we are going to glue them down. So let me move my trimmer out of the way. Give us a good amount of room here. Bring both of these in. Okay, we have a left and a right, and it doesn't matter because they're the same. It will matter if I put it on wrong though, right? So let me make sure that I've got my flip space in the right way. Okay, we do. Perfect. Just like that. I'm going to put some tape on here. Just to, oops. Oh, that one's going to go just like that. Because that's where it landed. It so it holds it while the glue dries. There we go. Just like that. Oh, goodness sakes. I'm not sure what her deal is, but he's taking too long to come in. And he'll shush her once he comes in because I do have a video magnet on the door letting him know that I'm doing a video. So he'll kind of quiet her down a little bit, hopefully. Hopefully. Yep, he is. You can hear him. All right, so we're going to get this about a 1/4 of an inch all the way around there. Nice and easy. Just like that. I'm going to carefully open this up without wiggling it. So I can press down on that base. There we go. And here we go. Get this all pressed down in there and that'll hold that really good. Perfect. All right. Side there. Let's do the same thing to this side here. We're going to double check to make sure everything is facing in the direction it's supposed to. So I don't glue it on upside down. Okay, so I'm going to tip it just like that. We'll get this going here. This is perfect. Be a nice size album. Just a perfect size. Whoops, I'm going to tear that off because I got pulled some paper up with it. And that won't work very good. Alrighty. Here we go. Use my opposite nail. Works better. we go. A mess to clean up. All right. Oops. Put that back in there. I want to do the whole thing. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Get my ruler up here, about 1/4 inch. There we go. We're going to flip it like that. And bring this down like so. Looking good. Open it carefully. Open it carefully. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. So this is where we're going to end today. And the next tutorial will be the decorating and any additional flips or whatever I've come up with. We'll do those together too. But this is the base. You get a good start on it. All right. So if you're a subscriber to my YouTube channel, I want to take a moment to thank you. I really appreciate it. If you are not subscribed yet, I would appreciate it if you would consider doing so. In the bottom right hand corner, there's a subscribe button. If you hit that, a bell will pop up. You can choose to be notified each time I put up a new video. So, as always, until the next time, hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.